Such a crazy change in weather. Yesterday was raining so much on and off to the point where you had a monsoon, and today, clear skies, kind of warm but less humidity, lots of mosquitoes too. But I will just say, welcome to a new edition of the Wananuki Cheese Cafe regardless. So as I'm recording this, it is the second week in August, my very last weekend before I have to go back to work after my vacation. I've had a few good episodes I've recorded, some that's going to be dropping a little bit later on, but I've also done a lot of shorts to show all of my antics from around the city. So if you want to catch up with that, then all you got to do is just go back on YouTube and look at the shorts feed. And today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Like, I'm going to do partly a city wander, but I'm also going to be doing a wander somewhere further south of the South Shore where I live. I'm going to be checking out Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu. It's a city I've probably referenced a few times on my channel for my own reasons, but we're also going to be visiting Ville Émard in the southwest of Montreal. The reason for that? My friend Julie is going to be joining us for this episode again, and we kind of want to document it together for some of her memories of that part of the city, but then also explore Saint-Jean together for the first time. So it'll be kind of nice to have another companion while I'm doing a new episode, and we're going to get right to this. But before we do, just remember this one thing I suggest. Hit that subscribe button below and put your notification bell on. That way, if there's a new episode that's ready to view, you're going to get a pop-up that it's ready to watch. And of course, give me a like. The more likes I get, the more these videos are promoted across YouTube, so it'll be easier for me to see and I can get more subs down the road. You'd be helping me a lot. Now, let's go right on to our travels. Looks like we're taking a little bit of a rural route now. It's a bit of a 36-minute drive from what I saw on the map, because the thing is, unlike in Montreal where everything is within walking distance, some parts of the South Shore and even further out, you gotta have a car. The infrastructure is not made for a pedestrian like me. But luckily I do have Julie here, who's an avid driver.
Hello!
Yeah, she's someone who would like to do road trips out in the middle of nowhere just to drive. Like we used to do over the years. It's like, I want to get out, and next thing you know, we end up in Ville for reasons unknown. I'm just thinking back to the past where we did that. Yeah, like our HMV years, I would say. So you're looking at minimum, probably 7 to 8 years since we did that.
7 years.
That long ago. And luckily, when we're going to Saint-Jean, we're going to be visiting one of the shops that our old boss is running right now. I bought some t-shirts for them in the past. They got a great music selection, and it's called Le Noise. I might have linked it before, but I'll put it in the comments section of where to find their stuff. So wait, it's going to be your first time visiting there. Just like mine.
First time?
Yeah, I've never been there. No, the only time I went to it is when he had a pop-up over at Books, like back in June. But I've never been to the store, but I've ordered online. Yeah, I was supposed to go with someone else, said, hey, we gotta go drive to see it, and it just never happened. You're laughing, I think you know what I'm talking about. But I think this is also my first time in years at Saint-Jean. Like, I don't think I've ever visited it since maybe high school. A long time. Yeah, I mean, it's probably changed a lot since you used to go. No? Or maybe some of the shops have changed. Not even a year? Okay. Well, first time for me, because I've heard it's kind of neat. It's like a, well, I guess we'll see the vibe once we do get there. Actually, it does make me think of another reason for wanting to go there. I do have a family connection in Saint-Jean of all places, like more than I've probably talked about before, but we're going to get to that part of the story when we do get there. Like, you probably wouldn't have guessed what it is. Nope. Wait and see. And here I am, I think for the first time in years, in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu. So this part of the town we're in, it's basically like the old Saint-Jean. So a little bit like if you're going to be in old Longueuil, old Montreal, you can see a lot of the old architecture from centuries ago that they kind of preserved. It's pretty neat. I like it a lot. And that connection I was telling you about, the city of Iberville is somewhere around here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and that's the connection. That's actually where my grandfather was from. So I told about the ones that came from Poland, from Ukraine. He was the only one that was in Canada, you know, before everyone else, before he moved into Montreal. Oh yes, and that's actually the main reason we're coming here is Le Noise. It's right up ahead. So, managed to get a good haul over at the Noise today. The only downside is that Julien, my old colleague, was not working, so wasn't able to say hi to him. But we could rest assured I sent him the haul to show we are still supporting them and saving the music to this day. Now, okay, we're right in front of something called the La Gabière Buvette, and it looks like they have La Gabière beer, which is awesome because they are brewed right here. If they have any food, then I might have to stop in here. Qu'est-ce que tu penses?
Ce qu'on va manger, puis après on va là.
OK.
Comme ça, s'il n'y a pas grand-chose pour nous, ben...
Bonne idée. If you've been following my videos for a while, you know, I have a running theme for a lot of my stuff that I eat. There's beef tartare, there's always fish and chips, there's like classic pub food. But one thing I don't really show off is like, you know, your typical greasy spoon, or casse-croûte as they call it here in Quebec. It's, you know, basic stuff like fries, good type of hot dog, smoked meat sandwiches that are just delicious. But the classic is the all-dressed hot dog. So if you don't live around here, you don't get these as often. It's like your basic hot dog that's with a steamed bun, chopped cabbage I think is in there, onion, mustard, and relish. So that pretty much is your basic Montreal-style hot dog. Is it good for you? Well, probably not, but man, it's such a thing of beauty. There's a bunch of classic greasy spoon places you'd find around. This spot is called Patate Royale that I just discovered. But if you go to, let's say, Notre Dame, you're going to get green spots with that iconic roof that actually passed by back in episode 199. There's also Belle Province that you find almost everywhere. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other greasy spoon places I haven't even talked about yet. So maybe in due time I'll show those off. But, you know, hot dogs are great. And of course, the fries, they're awesome. And they always give you more than you pay for. Right by the Richelieu River. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's something very peaceful about being right by the water with the breeze and the tranquility that comes with it. You know, it's not often also that I show off any greasy spoon stuff like hot dogs and fries on the channel, but first time for everything. So it was a classic Montreal style hot dog. And oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention about the history of my grandfather. He was in the military, but from what we saw, it was based in Petawawa, Ontario, which I thought at first, because I thought he was born in Saint-Jean d'Iberville, that it was tied over here because Saint-Jean is apparently a military city, if I'm not mistaken. But no, he was an Ontario guy and eventually moved into the city. Speaking of which, we're going to be continuing the journey right now. We're going to be heading up into Ville Émard, like I mentioned earlier on my introduction. It's going to be another ride, but hey, something brand new for all of us. We hit a bit of traffic along the way because everyone was coming into town, but here we are on Auto Route 20, I believe. and we're going to be making our way into Ville Émard now. And I'm going through some familiar territory because if I also look on my left, I'd be getting into Verdun and Nuns Island, which I visited a few times. And in fact, I was around there on Thursday. But if I was to go to my right, that's actually Point St. Charles. I remember we used to do some drives up to visit my aunt who used to live in Bay Durfee as a kid, and we'd pass by here, but this is way before I knew anything about all the districts of Montreal, so getting to know some parts of town I visited from a different perspective is kind of nice. And Ville Émard is in the southwest, easy to access from Verdun, easy to get to from Point St. Charles, Saint-Henri. So once again, that part is very walkable. Definitely walkable than if I was to get from my place in St. Hubert to Saint-Jean. Because, you know, it's impossible to walk there. Well, Jude, welcome back to your old home. Yay! Yeah, so it's like Ville Émard for you is a little bit like what Rosemont is for me when I was growing up.
Ouais, exactement. Ici, c'était ma ruelle.
This was your alley?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's
Dans mes souvenirs, c'était beaucoup plus large que ça.
Oh, I could imagine it was. I guess.
J'étais trop jeune.
Oh, yeah. It's just like with slides and things at parks, they're always going to feel bigger when you're a kid. When you're 3 feet tall versus 5 feet or 6 feet tall, it makes a big difference. Wow. So this is like Cardinal Street, and this is where you were living most of the time when you were in Ville Émard?
Oui.
All right.
J'ai vécu ici pendant 13 ans.
13 years, huh? Okay, so you're in the city a lot more than I was. I guess I just feel like Rosemont is more of a big thing for me because we came up here a lot with the grandparents.
Ouais. Ah, des souvenirs que j'ai ça.
You got some big souvenirs.
J'ai joué dans cette ruelle-là.
Wow. And I'm sure that there's other stuff you could point out that you saw growing up. You have your Dairy Queen, I have my Dairy Queen, but we'll get to that after.
Ouais.
Okay, so this alley has a lot more plants than I kind of expected. But Jude, you're saying that this didn't exist when you were living here?
Non, ça n'existait pas ça.
Wow, yeah.
C'était une ruelle, les chars pouvaient passer par ici.
So it's like one of those old style alleys where people just drive by.
Yep.
But I think that's just in general what I've seen in the cities, that they're trying to add a lot more plants, gardens and everything to just add some greenery. Because if not, you got nothing but béton, concrete, and, you know, just add some life to it.
Ah oui, ça fait de la vie, mais ça fait... Les clôtures ont changé. C'est toutes des petites clôtures de métal, ce sont des gros clôtures de bois où est-ce que tu vois plus rien.
Yeah, or also you're talking about like these kind of fences. Like these kinds are like some of the old style that my grandmother would have had around her neighborhood.
La vieille madame que je te parlais, Jeannette, elle s'appelait, elle habitait juste ici.
Okay.
Ici, c'était cool parce qu'on allait souvent jouer chez elle, puis j'avais une de mes amies, c'était sa grand-mère. Fait
Yeah.
qu'on venait souvent ici. Quand on jouait à cachette en dedans, qu'est-ce qui était drôle, c'est que tu pouvais passer dans sa chambre, dans son garde-robe. Fait que tu passais derrière la salle de bain,
Yeah.
puis tu arrivais dans une autre chambre au bout, dans le fond.
Really? So
On
it's like,
passait par là, c'était un passage secret qu'on
so it's
avait.
like a hidden bedroom in there as if you're a kid.
Ah ouais, non, on s'amusait comme des petites poules, moi, la chambre de fille.
Yeah. Kind
La
of feels
chambre de fille, elle habitait là, je pense.
just there.
Ouais, je pense.
So quite the community when you're living around here, that you grew up with all these friends and they're all like a block away.
Ouais.
Not like adult life where we all move into our own neighborhoods and then sometimes it's like an hour away to drive or even further. Times change, you know.
Ah ouais.
Okay, so let me get this straight, Ju. That apartment there, you're
2136?
2136, that's where you were living at the time?
Yep.
Like right across from this park?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, you could get a good view of the kids playing over there. And you can just hang out on the balcony and do whatever you wanted as a kid.
That was my salon, and just the other window, it was my bedroom.
Very nice. Like a very city vibe. It's almost like with my grandmother who lived like a block away from a Beaubien Park in Rosemont. Except her advantage was she also had a Dairy Queen that was right around the corner from it. So we'd always go there on 9th Avenue.
Do you remember a story? L'année de la tempête du verglas.
Is that 1998?
Yeah, 1998.
Yeah.
Okay. There was somebody okay, the Bachelor.
Yeah.
The guy in The Bachelor was in vacation, so he wasn't there.
Right.
The first one, they move on, so there's nobody there. They only have the second and the third, they were there.
Right.
And at midnight, somebody rang at the door to come in, and that was strange. He was yelling to enter, yelling, and we talked with the second floor, and okay, man, on répond pas, là, on répond pas. Puis suddenly we heard a buzzer. The buzzer pour faire rentrer la personne. Il est monté, il a fait le tour, il est redescendu, il est parti. Le lendemain, là, il y avait... le deuxième était parti au complet. Fait qu'on était tout seuls, moi, ma mère et mon frère.
Right.
Puis mon père était parti travailler. Fait qu'il était dans un tour de midi et demi. Puis ça ressonne à la porte. Fait que genre, maman, ça sonne à la porte. Maman, elle dit, regarde, on est dans le jour, je vais aller voir. Fait qu'elle descendait. Là, rendu au premier floor, elle entendait, puis le gars, il frappait dans la porte comme un déchaîné pour rentrer.
Jeez.
Tabarnak de calice, on peut pas rentrer ici.
Sounds like it was an emergency for him.
Ah, ouais, vraiment, c'était intense, là. Fait que ma mère est montée, elle fait pas confiance ici. J'appelle la police. Là, la police, elle disait, ouais, est-ce que t'as pris la plaque d'immatriculation? Un, il était stationné au coin de rue, mais c'est comme ça, fait qu'on ne pouvait pas le voir.
Okay.
Deux, nos fenêtres étaient calfeutrées parce que c'était mal isolé, fait que...
Yeah, you have
Fait que c'est
to
ça que tu peux pas voir. Puis, essaye de voir une plaque d'immatriculation du 3e étage avec les fenêtres calfeutrées, toi, Chris.
You're kidding me.
Mal.
No.
Fait qu'on s'est dit, le gars, il avait peut-être la bonne adresse, la mauvaise rue ou quelque chose comme ça.
It's possible, because that kind of emergency for the wrong house, yeah, that's weird.
Mais l'affaire qui est weird là-dedans, c'est qui a buzzé pour le faire rentrer.
Yeah. Who would have done that then? It's like anyone who's a psycho like that, you wouldn't want to let them in. All that to say,
Je l'ai jamais su, c'est qui avait buzzé.
yeah. Sad thing is sometimes you get other stories like that, but it ends up in the, a sadder ending. Like my grandmother when she was living during the World War II, like having to deal with some of that stuff. Okay, so Emery Sauvé, that's the name of the park?
Yeah. Puis le parc, dans le temps, il était vraiment pas fait comme ça. C'est vraiment plus old school avec des balançoires de bois puis les glissoires en métal. Et
Oh yeah, those, the ones that burn your ass when you slide down.
c'est ça, exactement.
Or did they have a merry-go-round too? Like you push it around like a carousel?
Oui,
They
oui,
had-
il y avait ça. Oui.
Because you don't find those in parks anymore.
Non, t'en trouves plus, ça donnait mal au cœur en plus.
Maybe it's a dangerous thing for kids these days.
Puis quand je suis partie pour déménager à Saint-Hubert, ben peu de temps après, ils ont tourné la série Les Bougons. Puis
Ok.
ça, c'était le parc où tu retrouvais souvent Hélène Bourgeois droguée. Il y avait
Ok.
plein de seringues ici. Ils ont,
Ok,
ils ont
so-
tourné des scènes ici dans ce parc-ci.
Okay, so this is the park they would have filmed it in?
Yep.
Wow. I mean, someone like me who doesn't follow a lot of Quebec media, it's not something I know well, but anyone who follows Quebec stuff, then that's a good bit of trivia. But you got a
Pas
lot
de
of...
série, Les Bougons. Puis on va aller se promener plus loin, puis je vais vous montrer où est-ce qu'ils allaient voir les médecins, supposément, qui allaient faire leur crosse, tout ça.
Medicine? Well, I can't wait to hear that. Yeah, I thought you would know I'd point that out.
Wow.
So Bender, we got the Plant Express ship, and Dr. Zoidberg who's trying to do a workout.
Je te confirme que c'était pas là dans le temps.
I'm sure, because Futurama only came out in like 1999 or 2000. Okay, which street are we on right now?
De Nonville.
De Nongville?
Ouais. Ici,
Okay.
il y avait une fille que je connaissais qui s'appelait Emmanuel avec sa sœur Christine. Qui habitait dans ce coin-là.
Ah, it's a very touching story, isn't it?
Oh.
You're giving yourself the hiccups.
Ah ouais, c'est ça. Puis au bout de la rue, on va voir une fille qui s'appelait Julie Chadronnet dans le temps.
Oh, man, it's like you knew everybody on the block. But again, if all the families were so close together, it's easy to make friends.
Ouais.
Which block?
Celui d'en haut.
Yeah?
Attends, c'est celui-là.
You mean the one with the gutters that look like they're falling off?
2307.
Okay, I see that.
C'était la fille que je te parlais, Julie Chadronnet, qui était là.
Okay, that one.
Ouais.
Yeah, I mean, you told me about that block, and first thing I noticed was the gutters that look like they're falling. What kind of Greco-Catholic Romanian? Oh, is that what I think? Yeah, Romanian Greek Catholic. I didn't even know that was a good combination.
pas, hein?
But I guess you could get anything around here.
Il n'y a jamais eu grand-chose là-dedans non plus. Hein.
Not even here?
Bon.
I mean, if it's a church and you got the backyard, that's, like, I can't imagine it being used for anything.
Ça n'a jamais été bien entretenu là-dedans.
Yeah. Maybe to ask God to do it?
Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, you owe us one. So now we're on the Monk Boulevard here, which seemed like there's a couple of shops and restaurants to check out. I probably passed by here a few times on walks in my pre-vlogging days, but it seemed like there was a lot going on here, right, Ju?
Yep.
And you were just saying, this is on occasion, this would be like a sidewalk sale place for pedestrian only, I think? Yes.
Exactly. C'était seulement un moment durant l'été qui faisait ça. C'était pas tout l'été complet.
Okay, so just a few of them.
C'était la semaine de la vente de trottoirs qu'on appelait.
Oh, right, like we had on St. Catherine Street in mid-July.
Ouais.
So it was more like a one weekend thing as opposed to, I think in a post-COVID world where they do a lot of pedestrian-only stuff. You know, like, again, Wellington, they do it all the time. De Castelnau, Duluth, like those kind of streets, they all do that.
Ici, c'est l'église Notre-Dame du Perpétuel Secours. C'est là que j'ai eu ma confirmation. Pas ma confirmation, mais c'est pas ton nom en troisième année ici.
That's going to be your first communion.
Merci.
Yeah. It reminds me, we haven't been to my area of Rosemont to see, you know, maybe a Baptist location. One day.
One day.
Yeah. And in case we ever need, we got a Dairy Queen over there for ice cream.
Ici, là, c'était une rue complète avant. Il n'y avait pas ça ici. C'était ouvert, là.
Okay. So just a sign of how things that could change around here.
Puis juste au bout de ce coin, c'était un Poste Canada qui était là.
Ah. And now it's supposed to be...
Il n'y avait pas ça dans le temps, là.
Not even.
C'était une rue vraiment, vraiment ouverte, là.
Once again, times change around here. Like, wait, there?
Ici, parce que c'est fermé, là.
Yeah. You mean this thing covered up with paper?
Juste là, dans
Yeah.
la zone, ouais.
So what about it?
Ça, c'était là où est-ce que les bougons tournaient leurs trucs quand il y avait les médecins qui crossaient le monde. C'était là qu'ils allaient. Parce qu'on passait tout le temps sur les forts ici.
Really?
Oui.
Oh, seems kind of shady to me. I mean, when you say medicine, I always think like real doctors or like Dr. Nick.
C'est ça, Dr. Nick.
So wait, let me get this straight. That Tim Hortons that's over there used to be a Dunkin' Donuts?
Yep.
Huh. And I'll bet that it used to look like one of those old Dunkin' Donuts buildings. You know, I have to tell you, Dunkin's, personally, I found better than Tim's. Because the flavor of the glaze, it just feels like it was a better quality.
Ah, c'est vrai, mais ça fait trop longtemps que je puisse le dire.
Oh, yeah,
Le
well,
green stuff existe toujours.
this green stop? Okay, because I was thinking a green spot that's on Notre Dame in like Saint Henri. Yeah, another classic greasy spoon place over here. Oh, hey, we're already on Jonica. Huh? Larando's not too far from here.
On va aller par là.
There? Okay. Actually, if you were to go, oops, hang on. You might want to wait. Yeah. But actually, I think if you were to go further north this way, eventually you get onto Newman, and it gets you to Carrefour-Grignon, if I remember my geography. Yeah. Oh, because remember, Ju, even before I was doing these videos, I did used to explore around the city for various reasons.
On va quelques rues, puis on va retourner ici après parce qu'il y a d'autres affaires que j'avais ici.
Sure. And I think at the same time we could find a place to grab a coffee, drink, or ice cream, because I think we could use one. This is your elementary school?
Ouais.
Ooh. Yeah, definitely did bigger than the elementary school I had, because mine was so small you could only fit like 20 people in the classroom, and I think our auditorium slash gym, you could barely fit the whole school in there.
Si on continue un peu plus loin, je me demande si c'est encore des escaliers qui sont là, mais j'avais oublié les escaliers de A à Z.
Like you memorize those stairs?
Ah ouais.
Okay, well I guess I'll find out what's so significant about stairs.
Ici.
What about these steps?
J'étais jeune, c'était l'hiver. J'avais manqué la première step en haut. Fait que j'ai déboulé. Pour dans le milieu, ça fasse comme.
So,
Et j'ai déboulé jusqu'en bas après.
That feels like very cartoon logic, you know.
Right.
It's like you could have been in a Looney Tunes cartoon when that happened. But I'm one to talk because I was trying to play leapfrog once with a friend of mine and told him to jump over me, except what he ended up doing, jumping on top of me when I was 8 years old, ended up breaking my arm. But,
Wow.
yeah, I've never told that story before, so there you go. First time for some of you who are watching in years and first time to hear it. But the good news with that, I'm left-handed, my right arm was broken.
Oh boy.
So that meant I could still write.
Puis juste ici,
Yeah,
la maison juste à côté de l'école,
yeah.
ça c'était une madame qui s'appelait Danielle Brière. Elle avait 3 enfants, un qui s'appelait Frédéric, un Mathieu puis un Jonathan. Ici, mes parents, ils avaient gagné un voyage aux Bermudes, fait qu'ils nous avaient laissé une semaine ici.
Really?
Ouais.
So good. They went to Bermuda and you had to stay here?
Ouais.
Oh, all right.
Puis c'était pas cool. Mon frère était méchant avec moi. Je dormais avec mon frère, il faisait exprès pour me faire chier, puis me faire chialer. Fait que c'est moi qui s'est fait chicaner. Fait que c'est moi qui est allé dormir dans le divan, dans le noir, quand j'avais peur du noir dans ce temps-là. J'étais jeune, j'avais genre 5-6 ans, là. Fait que j'avais peur. C'est moi qui étais punie, puis venait de dormir dans le salon. Mon frère arrêtait pas de me faire des conneries.
Sounds like just basic sibling rivalry.
Je mangeais aucune sorte de chip à part les Lay's nature.
Right, because you don't like any flavors.
Mon frère les mélangeait avec des sel et vinaigre. Puis quand j'aimais pas quelque chose, ben j'étais hyper difficile dans le temps, fait que j'avais quasiment pas mangé de la semaine.
Oh, what do you mean you were difficult? You're still difficult.
Oh non, worse.
Worse?
Worse.
That's hard to believe.
Fois 1000. Fois 1000.
Times 1,000. I'm gonna get slapped for this, aren't I? Okay, where are we? Okay, Jacques Cheptel. So you're saying that if we go further up, we're gonna get to Newman Park?
Oui, là, tu vas monter la pente là-bas. Tu fais une grosse pente, tu montes comme ça, puis là, tu arrives au parc Newman.
Okay, and then you're very close to LaSalle, technically.
Oui.
Yeah, because that's actually what I was going to say, is that the one time I do remember coming here, like really young, was actually driving with my dad because we went up to Parc Angrignon to go look at the farm that's up there.
Oui, mais il était pas dans ce coin-là, il était plus loin.
Oh, it's actually pretty closer than you think.
Juste à côté du parc Newman, c'est le Carrefour Angrignon.
Yeah, and then the park, yeah, that's it. The park is actually really close to Carrefour Angrignon.
Plus loin.
No, it isn't actually. I remember going there like 2020. I know my shit. And she just wants to say she's right, even though she's wrong. Okay, Ju, I'm having a nerd moment right now. We're just passed by Aragon Street. Are you getting Lord of the Rings flashbacks like I am?
Aragorn?
Yeah, I know it's Aragorn, but I stand by my statement. Someone here is a Tolkien fan.
Ouais, mais la rue ici, c'est pas Aragon, c'est d'Aragon.
Shut up, let me have my fun. Oh, now that looks like a pretty nice swimming pool you had there. So you said that's the one you used to visit when you were a kid? Mm-hmm. All the time. Okay, yeah, this is a Newman Park, in case you wonder where we are. Which, I'm gonna admit, whenever I hear the word Newman, I think, hello, Newman. Which, if you're a Seinfeld fan, you know what I'm talking about. She's not a Seinfeld fan. In fact, I'm trying to get her to laugh at some routines. I think the only one you kind of liked was My Boys Can Swim. Look it up, thank me later. Okay, one element I probably should have taken into account is the fact that we were passing by a park means you're gonna have a kid around and he's gonna want to play around forever and ever. Kids are such big balls of energy, but adults, yeah, we're not all energetic like we used to be, even though I could walk across the entire city. But that was kind of nice to look at this new part of town. The one thing I do realize is I'm gonna need a drink, like a coffee, maybe an ice cream or something. And luckily we got a spot very close by we can hit up before we start to wrap things up. Well, we needed some kind of a treat while we were doing our little wander around. And this Dairy Queen is actually one I remember passing by on one of my random walks on the corner of Laurando and Jolica. And I had to send this to Julie because I was thinking of her since she grew up in the area, and she said, yep, I know that. All she had to do was look at a picture of this and she knew exactly what I was talking about. It's a little bit like when I keep talking about my grandmother in Rosemont, that she lived around the corner from the Dairy Queen that was on the corner of Beaubien Street East and 9th Avenue. Whenever we used to do visits around there, or even some sleepovers in the summer, we would always try to go there for a treat before going to Beaubien Park to play. And if you wonder what I'm having right now, I'm having a peanut butter blizzard. Actually, it's a Reese blizzard. Blizzards are always one of my go-tos, and I love peanut butter, especially a combination of chocolate and peanuts. It's awesome. And right now they're having a little strawberry sundae, you know, mother-daughter time. Even though this seems like it's the first time that the kids are getting excited to see Uncle Nick. I lost track of just how many times I got coaxed onto getting onto a slide or having to walk him somewhere.
T'as oublié quelque chose? Il voulait plus te tenir la main à toi qu'à moi.
I mean, it's not my fault. He wanted to hold my hand for some reason. But again, he spent more time today with Uncle Nick than any other day that we've been together. So, I have to say overall...
Mais j'ai le droit à un beau câlin, pardon.
Yeah, you got a nice hug there. So I have to say that first visit to Ville Émard, documented on camera, is nice. But I also know that I'm going to want to come back here eventually on my own and see through Wandayuki eyes. Whether I find a good bar I could get a pint from or a good restaurant, that we're going to wait and see. But that will be for another time. Till then, thanks for watching this latest edition of the Wandayuki Cheese Cafe from Saint-Jean up until Ville Émard. So if you like what you see, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy the wonders, the stories, and the antics that come with all of this. And if you have any ideas for future episodes, leave in the comments and I'll see what I could do. Oh wait, what am I doing? This ain't a beer, but I gotta cheers everybody. Take care and see you all next time. And I have a live audience over here who finds me funny. Who knew that?
C'est froid? Ouais, je sais.